Hey everybody, how are you doing? I am doing fantastic. So today, this video is completely not planned in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Oh, I'm going a little loopy here. I just am getting it done today. Like, do you ever have those days where like the to-do list, the mental to-do list is getting done and you feel really good about it? So I don't know why and I don't know how, but I am just getting it done. Like, I had to harvest my lettuce. I had to clean out the chicken coop. I had to replant some of my carrots because half of them didn't germinate. And it was just one of those days. It was like boom, boom, boom. I was knocking it out. So I don't know why. Maybe it's because me and Parker literally just finished third grade school for this year, so we are officially on summer break. So I finally have some extra time to dedicate to the garden and preserving and just doing some of the fun homesteading things that sometimes fall to the wayside as we are doing school. So today's just been a great day. I've got a lot done, and one of the things that I needed to do today was feed my sourdough starter. So as you guys know, I have said in previous videos, I'm going to link one here. If you don't know how to create your own sourdough starter, I did an awesome video on how to create a starter, how to maintain it, and then I also put a super simple recipe for an artisan loaf in there, and it is absolutely delicious, so make sure you check that out. But one of the things I've told you guys before is I never throw away my sourdough discard. I find super simple recipes, easy ways that I can use that discard because I don't want to throw away product. Flour is not cheap. Nothing is cheap nowadays, you know what I'm saying? So I use everything that I possibly can. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to feed my sourdough starter, and with that fed starter tomorrow, I'm actually going to be making some homemade bagels. But for tonight, I'm going to have some discard that I don't want to throw away. So I'm going to show you how I make my super quick and easy flatbread. It's great for breakfast. Sometimes we eat it just as a snack, but it's really good and it's a great way to use up your discard. So this video, like I said, you guys, is just impromptu. I did not plan this, but I thought, hey, I'm in here making some flatbread for myself this evening to have as a snack. I just came in from the garden, probably looking kind of crazy, a little oily and shiny, don't know, but I thought I would take you guys along and show you how to make this easy flatbread. So let's get to it. All right, so just really quick, I am gonna feed my sourdough starter, and let me show you guys the measurements that I have here. This is how I feed my sourdough starter every single time that I feed it. Now, I keep a big batch of starter because I like to make bagels, sourdough pancakes, lots of dinner meals that are like one pot cast iron skillet meals and things like that. So I need a lot of sourdough starter. So a lot of people don't keep this much starter, but I prefer to because I use all of it. So what I have here is 1 cup of my sourdough starter, 1 cup of lukewarm water, and then 2 cups of fresh flour. Now I like to use einkorn flour. You can use, whatever flour you want to use once you've got your sourdough starter good and healthy and strong. But I like to use einkorn just because I feel like it's a little bit more healthier for you, and it just really makes such a great strong starter. So I'm gonna get this fed and set this aside for tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'm gonna make homemade bagels with it. Now I always get a Sharpie and mark my jar because Parker likes to watch how big the sourdough starter grows. definitely want to grab some fresh onions from the garden. Now you want to make sure that you let your skillet get nice and hot so that that oil is sizzling before you add the starter to it. And the trick, you guys, is to try to flip your flatbread only once. Now you guys can add whatever seasoning you would like to your flatbread. I sometimes just use sesame seeds, but my favorite is the everything bagel seasoning. Now I like to make a simple dip for my bread. I just use soy sauce and then I add a little bit of olive oil. Some people like to add sesame seed oil, but tonight I'm going to keep it simple. Do you guys hear that crispy crunch? Oh my goodness, it's so good. Crispy on the outside and nice and soft and fluffy on the inside. Yes, give me some of that. So you guys, every time that I feed my sourdough starter, if I don't have, flatbread or something to make on the fly right then, I will save that discard and I will just stick it in the refrigerator. Now, I don't really know exactly how long the discard keeps in the refrigerator, but I'm telling you guys, I've kept it in there for a few weeks at a time. And every time that I take it out and I make something like my flatbread like I've made tonight, it's been perfectly fine. So there's other things that you can make with your sourdough discard. You can make simple pancakes. Now, with your discard, the pancakes aren't going to be as fat and fluffy as they would be like if you were using a fed sourdough starter, but nonetheless, you can still use your discard and make some delicious pancakes. Slap some butter on there and some maple syrup and it tastes just the same. So I always have a jar of my active sourdough starter and then I have a jar of discard in the refrigerator, and at times I will just keep adding to that jar if I need to. If I've fed my sourdough starter a couple of times and I haven't had a chance to use up that discard yet, I'll just keep adding it to that jar, and you guys, it's perfectly fine. So don't throw your discard away, make some flatbread, and I think that you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. It's really good. All right, you guys, I told you this was gonna be a super quick video, but I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you have never made a simple flatbread with your sourdough discard, I encourage you to give it a shot. It's really, really good. If you can just imagine the flavor of the crispy onions on that sourdough flatbread, it is so good and so filling and so good for you because you're using that sourdough starter. So I am famished, I am hungry, and I didn't feel like cooking. So this was something I could make super quick to fill me up after being in the garden all day. And then I've got to get on these dishes. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, make you some flatbread. It's good, I'm telling you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this evening, you guys, and I will see you very soon on the next video. Striker! If you haven't yet, no, it's ew.